I have found yet another reason not to like daylight saving time. If I go out for my walk in the morning, like right now, instead of being able to walk comfortably around town, depending on which direction I'm heading, I now have the sun bearing directly into my face. So I can't really see where I'm going. I can't even see the camera right now. So I don't even know if I'm in frame. Although with an action camera, it's hard to get out of the frame. Just a little behind the scenes info there. Today on Facebook, I saw one of the stupidest posts I've ever seen in my life. And I'm sure some of you have seen this same one because it's just one of those generic things that pop up in your feed every now and then. It was about Neptune. The planet Neptune is now on the opposite side of the sun compared to the Earth. And the headline was something about how it was bad news now that we couldn't see Neptune without a telescope. So this just gets stupider every time I think about it. If you wanted to see Neptune, I suppose you would get a telescope, aim it at the sun, and then after you had burned a hole through your head, you might be able to see Neptune. Now, what kind of a moron would post something like that? That's like, I'm surprised Facebook even allowed it. Normally they don't like you to post things where you could hurt yourself. That's like posting game strategies for Russian roulette. A telescope to look at the sun. Okay, speaking of Neptune, I'm not sure I've ever seen Neptune with or without a telescope. So the fact that I can't see it now because it's on the other side of the sun, that doesn't really affect my life that much. But if it does, I'll be sure to make another video and let you know. By the way, if any of you guys in the back actually get your telescopes out and aim them at the sun, let me know how that turns out. Today's walk is going to take me up to Simpson along the Lackawanna River Heritage Trail, which I've been on many times. But this particular direction, I don't think I've ever done this before. So I'm not really sure how long it is, but I'm guessing it's about 6, maybe 7 kilometers. I'm not really sure about that. But I'll know by the time I finish. Some of these places you'll probably recognize, but it's hard not to go for a nice walk today because the weather is so nice. As you can tell, the sun is out. It's 8 degrees. My weather app says it feels like 11. Don't ask me how that happens. Like Neptune, this is not going to affect me in any way. I can already tell that I've overdressed. I'm hot, and I'm even starting to think that I should have bought the last part of my uniform, my sweat towel that's usually here, but it's only March, so naturally I didn't think I needed it. But I have a feeling before this walk is over, I might want to have it. I'm here at the Sarah Leo Park, here at, I think it's called the West Side Playground. Not sure about that. You can look that up. But they're getting the field ready for baseball, softball, and I think they play soccer here also. My big project that I've been working on lately is relearning all my coding skills. One of my friends, YouTuber friends, Planet Doug, I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. When I last met up with him, it was in Kuala Lumpur, I think sometime in December. And he was setting up a Patreon page for his channel. Now, I'm not going to go into what Patreon is. Some of you probably already know, but if you're not sure what it is, you can click on the link for Doug's channel and he'll explain it. But anyway, that got me started thinking about why I don't have a website for the International Big Shot YouTube channel. So instead of starting a Patreon, I thought I would dust off my coding skills and see if I could put up an International Big Shot website. And I've been working on that for a week or two. I don't know if you heard that, but it's some kind of a industrial type horn. Where was I? Oh yes, I've been working on creating a website for the International Big Shot. And I used to do this. One of the jobs I had right before I retired was with the U.S. Sports Academy in Malaysia. And as part of that job, I had to create an entire student information system. It sounds a lot easier than it was, but I had to do this when I knew absolutely nothing about coding, websites, the internet, or anything like that. So for starting from zero, I created a site that actually is still in use today. This is my favorite part of this trail. And although right now it looks like dystopian blight, in a few weeks it will look really nice. It's almost like a tunnel of trees and bushes with the river on the right-hand side over here, and then a small bunch of trees on the left, and then the main road. But it's a nice, quiet, usually shaded area. And once the flowers or leaves or whatever you want to call them bloom, it'll be a very nice place to ride or walk. Well, I've reached the Morse Avenue trailhead, and I'm now crossing the mighty Lackawanna and heading into the town of Simpson. From here I'm going to take a right and head back into Carbondale. It's about 2.5 kms, and we'll see exactly how long this particular route is. Some of you may have noticed that I'm not carrying my backpack in this video. I got a new camera, and part of the deal was that they sent me this bag, this camera bag. Now it's a nice bag, and I'm really trying to find a reason to start using it because it is a nice bag. It's a sling. I like how I can wear it. Stays out of the way. It's easy to get into and things like that. It carries everything I need, mostly. But it's not really very good as far as weight distribution is concerned. With the backpack, that doesn't happen, even though the backpack is heavier than this bag. So, although I like this bag, I really can't justify taking it on my trips with me yet, because it isn't really crushable, so I couldn't really put it inside another bag and use it at my destination. And the less things I have to think about carrying or leaving behind, the happier I am. So I'm not really sure this bag is going to make any trips with me. The other piece of new equipment is my water bottles. I use Nike water bottles, and the last ones I've had for like 8 years. And they have this, I don't know if you remember a picture of it. I'll try to find a picture of one and put it in this video. But it has a rubberized surface that's connected to a plastic surface. And over the years, by squeezing the bottle and ramming it into backpacks and things like that, the seam between the rubberized area and the plastic area weakens and eventually cracks. So I had to replace them. So I replaced it with another Nike bottle. It's not shaped quite the same as the other one. The other one had a much larger, I'm not sure what you would call this, like divot in the shape of it so you could hold on to it better. This one has something like that, but it's not as big. The top though is exactly the same, and that's what I like about these. It's like a pop top. When you squeeze the bottle, it pops, but it doesn't leak. Anyway, I replaced it with this blue one, and I have another one. I think it's a clear plastic one. So those are the two pieces of new equipment that I have. Only one of them, the water bottles right now, are going to be in my travel kit. This is the part of the trail that is paved. It's on the other side of the river. When you get to Simpson and cross over, you're on a paved path, which is really nice if you're on a bike, since it's all downhill. It's between 1% and 3% grade, and this side is all downhill, which would make sense because it follows the river, and not too many rivers flow uphill unless you're on Neptune. So if you get your telescope out, spot Neptune, you might see some rivers flowing uphill. If you know the trail, then you know that the 1909 bridge is about 1 km from Carbondale. So I'm almost back. I'm going to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.